everyone. Welcome to Badass Women of Hearthstone.
Hi, I'm runhesaid, and I am joined by the beautiful and illustrious Dragonrider. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, well, after that intro, I'm fantastic.
I am so excited for this matchup, Dragon. The reason why is we have Alliestrasza and iOrchestrate playing tonight. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Alliestrasza is a pretty well-known player. She's been around the scene for a long time. iOrchestrate, this is really like her first kind of foray into competitive play and really putting herself out there a little bit more. But she started off a little rocky at the beginning, but she's gotten up to 4-2, and she's playing against these big name players. So it's gonna be interesting, I think.
I am super excited this. As we know, Allie's a household Hearthstone name. I mean, we've seen her on everything. She lives in LA near Blizzard. If there's a Hearthstone event, she's probably there. iOrchestrate, we don't know anything about her. You know, she's new. I just found her on Twitter. She came into this tournament with guns a-blazing, and she hasn't hit legend yet, but she's holding her own in these matchups with not only legendary players, but like epically good Hearthstone players. So I'm so excited to see this. But Donnie, before we get started, let's talk about these deck lists. What did we ban, and what are we going to see tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. So just real quick, it is Last Hero Standing. It is bring 4 decks, ban 1. So Alliestrasza brought even Warlock, even Shaman, OTK Death Knight Paladin, and it looks like the Subject 9 Hunter. And iOrchestrate has even Shaman, even Paladin, Odd Rogue, and Spell Hunter. Now, iOrchestrate did ban Alliestrasza's Paladin, and then for iOrchestrate, her Rogue has been banned. I'm kind of not really surprised either way here, and I think also the players' comfort level playing against some of the decks also could go into that as well. So, what's your take on it, Run?
Well, we know that OTK Pally has been absolutely nuts in this meta. It doesn't have a ton of unfavorable matchups, so I can't blame at all for the ban there. That Odd Rogue, oh man, it just runs people over, especially when you're playing control the lineups just like she is. So I'm not surprised. I think both players made a really good choice in their selections.
So, absolutely.
With that being said, tell me a little bit more though. What do we see in these lineups? I know we've got Evenlock. It's running some very controlly cards. What do you think about Alliestrasza's choice on that?
Yes, this is definitely really interesting. So in Alliestrasza's Even Warlock, she is running double Doomsayers. She has 1 Shadow Flame.
Yes, I thought that was an interesting inclusion.
Yes, and a Skulking Geist. I definitely love the Shadow Flame that. I've been running that for a long time too, so I think it's a very good pick there.
And we just got word that the players are starting, so we're going to switch over to game mode and see what we can find out. So it looks like first up we have a Hunter matchup.
Ooh.
All right. And we are currently working on getting the spectate mode here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we can see that iOrchestrate is on the top and Allie is here at the bottom. And Donnie, what do you think of these mulligans?
I actually got in the game a little bit too late, unfortunately, to see those mulligans, but
okay.
Subject 9 for Alliestrasza here, but we do see a Secret Plan and a Spellstone for iOrchestrate, so we'll see. It's gonna be a little interesting.
iOrchestrate already has a nice curve. We can see that Allie did get Dire Mole, which is probably one of the strongest plays you can get on turn 1 as a mid-range Secret Hunter. So,
job done.
Yeah, and another thing too that's really interesting about the difference in these lists, and it is open deck lists, so the players can check those lists and see for themselves, just to make sure, including whatever practice they did. But in Alliestrasza's Hunter, she's actually only running one copy each of Explosive Trap, Freezing Trap, and Snake Trap. So if she plays those early in the game, Orchestrate knows that she can not play around those because they've already been used up until Zul'jin.
Okay, that's very good, and it makes you wonder if iOrchestrate actually pulled the deck list up. I imagine she would have. So it's so interesting when these deck lists are open and you're able to see what the other person may or may not have on a turn. So
exactly.
So we can see a nice curve here for iOrchestrate. She has plenty of options to be able to, level up that spellstone. She can go with an animal companion. What do you think is a good play in this situation, Donnie?
I think animal companion is probably fine here. Possibly on turn 4, if she draws another secret, she could play double secret to buff up that spellstone, but she already has played one. I'm also a little bit interested to see how Allie is going to use the Subject 9, because she does have coin, so there's potential for her to actually coin out the Subject 9 and get that out pretty early.
Yes, that would definitely be something that would be hard to deal with on iOrchestrate's side. But she goes ahead and goes with a Master Call, pulling the Tundra Rhino, Crackling Razormaw, and the Spring Paw. Those are tough minions to deal with, especially when you're able to Tundra Rhino and Crackling Razormaw into that Rhino. So it'll be an interesting play on turn 7. Now we can see it's turn 4, so she's got a lot of options here, preparing for turn 5 with that Spellstone. Ooh, which one do you choose in this situation, Don?
Well, I think she already has the Explosive Trap in hand, so I feel like she probably doesn't want to take the Explosive. She might go Wandering Monster here, and actually I'm not sure which one she probably plays, but Explosive would only kill one minion, unfortunately, so I feel like the Wandering is a little bit stronger here.
Yes, I feel like that was a good choice as well. Allie's got a full hand here, which is what you want to see as a hunter. That Master Call is a really great addition from Rusticon. She does go ahead and pop that secret. Oh, what a roll there.
Yeah.
And triggers.
Ooh, yep, there's the poison.
The poisonous. Yeah, that's definitely a great pickup for iOrchestrate. We see Allie reaching for the Crackling Razormaw here, but she puts it back. Oh, she gets it out again.
She might be trying to find poisonous for herself as well, to try to take back some of the board here.
Mm-hmm. Spellhunter has by no means any shortage of minions, but it can be harder as a Spellhunter to be able to get a ton of minions out at one time because of the size of the spells. But this is an interesting choice on Allie's part to go ahead and get rid of the Leok. Why do you think she did that, Dawn?
I think she's just trying as best she can, it looks like, to just keep a little bit of the board. She's seen multiple spells. Secret's been played, and it is going into turn 5, so she could be thinking that there's going to be a Spellstone, which we do see that it is. So she might be wanting to save some of these resources to try to answer that, because if she uses all of her resources too early, she won't have an answer for the Spellstone.
I think that is a good point, a good value trade on her part there as well. Let's see.
Yeah.
Now, what answer does Allie really have for this souped-up Spellstone?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks a little bit... I mean, she does have the Explosive, plus some small minions with the Springpaw and the Lynx, but other than that, she might have to do multiple, kind of plays here to clear the board. She could play the Subject 9 and try to draw into some other things, like maybe a Freezing Trap, second Wandering Monster, just other ways to make it a little bit harder for Orchestrate to get around her board.
This is definitely a tough position to be in for Allie, but she does go ahead and put up the Snake Trap, which I think is a really great idea here to help try to control some of this board. Oh, and we see the explosive. So she, she realizes there's probably not a whole lot she can do at this point to stave off the 12 damage, but she does see a way out in the future to be able to get some of that damage mitigated.
Absolutely.
So that was a very smart move on Allie's part. So, and she's going to send the rest face. Now, do you think, On, that tips her off that that's an explosive trap? And do you trigger it knowing that?
I think if she had traded the 1/1 into one of the minions, that there could be a little bit more indication of the explosive. But, I also like here that she only used the 1/1 with Rush that she already had in the hand. She didn't play the second Spring Paw. And it could also be an indication that Allie might want to save that in the future for either clearing stuff after the explosive or saving it for when she draws a Scavenging Hyena to build that Hyena up.
I like that. Yeah, that could very well be what she's looking at. Maybe even to conceal her hand a little bit. Maybe she doesn't want iOrchestrate to know that she's got several ways to clear the board. Maybe hoping she'll use a resource or two into the wolves. I'm not sure what, but I like the hold back here. I think it's a good one. And we see that she goes ahead and digs for something. Oh, and chooses Animal Companion and an explosive trap of her own.
Yeah, I really like iOrchestrate's hand here as well. Allie does have a little bit of refill with this Subject 9. It could help her draw into other things. Ooh, and the Spellstone's not a bad pickup. Unfortunately, though, she played out her secrets last turn. But again, she has that Subject 9 to refill and get those secrets.
I feel like Subject 9 is an awesome card here, and you could even technically Subject 9 coin into it. I don't think that's what she's going to do. I think she's going to want to clear some of this damage out of the way. So we do see she's going to use that Spring Paw to, clear off at least one of these minions.
Right. Yeah, and I think she's as the game goes further along, Allie's going to have to consider things like Rope Delar. She's going to have to start worrying about the Zul'jin turn and some of those other secrets, and potentially what Orchestrate could get from the Rope Delar, or even how she plays out her minions into something like Crushing Walls.
Yes, yeah, and that's a very interesting inclusion in the Spell Hunter. Not every Spell Hunter we've seen actually runs that, so that was a good inclusion, I think, on iOrchestrate's part here, just in case this matchup happened.
Yeah, and with the open deck list too, just having one copy of a card, it kind of forces your opponent to play around it a little bit because they know it's in the deck. Of course, they don't know whether the opponent has it in their hand, but it's in the deck somewhere, so there's always that, you have to play around it a little bit.
And we can see that iOrchestrate's in a very good position here. She has Rope Delar if she really needed it. She has Kill Command in hand. She has To My Side. So her ability to build this board is just, and swing this like the rest of the way in her favor, is very much in hand. So Allie's got to come up with an answer, and Allie knows that. She knows that pretty much the rest of the cards in the deck are gonna kill her, and she's got to figure out, what do I do to stabilize here?
Yeah, absolutely. She does have multiple secrets here in her hand, but unfortunately she kind of drew in the wrong order that she wanted to. She drew her Spellstone and then a lot of her secrets. She just drew the Spellstone a little bit too late for what she was looking for. But yeah, absolutely. Orchestrate has a lot of different answers, like we were talking about, not only in her hand, but that she could possibly draw into as well. So
yes, and if iOrchestrate doesn't stay on the initiative here, which some of those secrets can help take away some of that initiative, Allie could potentially swing this back her way just by placing that souped up Emerald Spellstone down. So it'll be interesting to see what iOrchestrate does, how she interacts with the secrets here.
Yeah, definitely. I think this Tundra Rhino is probably something that Orchestrate really wants to try to get off the board as soon as possible. It's kind of a threat.
That Tundra Rhino causes lots of problems for lots of people.
And unfortunately, she does have to use that kill command there. But again, she did gain the board back. putting a taunt in the way is pretty good here.
A large taunt at that. So
Yeah.
we do see the wolves come back down. So iOrchestrate did lose a tiny bit of momentum there because we know that Wandering Monster is in hand and or in it has been played, and so that 4-drop cannot go face. However, we do see that she does have to my side here plus hero power. She has Roguedalar plus hero power, so she has a lot of ways to get damage to face to maybe push lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Zul'jin pickup is just so good for Orchestrate here. I mean, she's going to be able to... She can play out Zul'jin next turn. She can get a ginormous board back because she's already played one Spellstone and both to my sides. So she can put a lot of stuff out there and then refill after that with Rope if she wants to. So
yes.
I don't even blame her if she actually wants to attack here and try to get rid of those secrets now that she has the Zul'jin to kind of take the board back a little bit.
Yeah, and she has to be sitting there thinking, what could Alliestrasza have in hand that would really do it? Oh, but she doesn't
my
attack.
Gosh.
She I don't attack. Wow, I'm
that's
surprised
probably
by that.
okay too. She has the taunts out, so I think that's okay. Just forcing Allie to remove her own board, basically.
Yeah.
But, Allie picked up her own Zul'jin too, so this could be pretty interesting these next couple turns here to see how this game goes.
Yeah, it is. The Zul'jins can create a huge board. We're going to see the kill command go to the taunt, and then everything else goes face. We do know that will kill off that Timberwolf, but she's still doing 12 damage to face if she chooses.
Well, if she does go face and kills that Timberwolf, it's going to be less damage because that Timberwolf's gone to remove that buff.
How do you feel about her leaving the Leok on the board and going face? Do you feel like it's kind of what she has to do at this point?
Potentially. She didn't know what the secret was, of course. I think at this point, yeah, she's probably just trying to play. She has a bunch of secrets out, and she pretty much just has to hope that Orchestrate doesn't have this last bit of damage to get through the secrets and have that push to get through and kill her off. Especially with picking up her own Zul'jin. So I think Allie's probably just hoping she can survive. Oh.
And it's always such an interesting interaction here, and if the interaction didn't work that way, she would have survived, but because the hero was attacked, it does, even though the freezing trap triggered, it does in fact still go back in hand, and so we see iOrchestrate pick up the first win against Alliestrasza with her Spell Hunter. That was an incredibly good, well-played game on both parts. So what do you think we'll see up next, Dawn?
Ooh. So it is last hero standing, so the person who wins has to stay with that deck. So we're going to see, obviously, that Spell Hunter again from Orchestrate. And Alliestrasza, I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe she tries to bring Even Shaman just to get that early game push and that early game pressure with an aggressive deck. But, it's going to be interesting. I think that Allie has some pretty unfavored matchups against this Spell Hunter, so getting that Spell Hunter out right out the gate and getting that first win probably feels a little bit rough for Allie.
Yes, that definitely, there's some hard matchups, but we do know we have at least one mirror match, and those themselves sometimes can be who knows the deck better, but also what you draw. So, maybe getting that Even Shaman out now might not be a bad way to go, just to get, some other work done with that deck. And Even Lock can, since Allie's teched it a little bit more towards the slow side, more control-y, Evenlock maybe putting this Even Shaman to work for her to kill the Spell Hunter before it gets started might be the best plan. Have you looked to see, Dawn, about any, are the deck lists on the Even Shaman, are they completely the same, or were there any tech choices that Allie or iOrchestrate made?
Yeah, definitely. They are slightly different here. So for iOrchestrate, she actually is running one Spellbreaker in her Even Shaman.
Oh.
And then she's running the Black Knight, which is really interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, I think generally people see that more so, have seen it in Even Paladin and not Even Shaman. But I think it's a pretty good place for it still here. And then Allie has one Serenite Chain Gang instead, and an Argent Commander in that 6th slot. So
okay,
2 cards different there a little bit.
And we're going to go back into game, and we'll see that she did, in fact, queue up the Even Shaman, and we're going to see the Spell Hunter come back into hand. What do you want to see as an Even Shaman here if you know you're facing Spell Hunter, Don?
Yeah, I think you just really want to go for as much of your early game as you can. Early game and potentially any buffs. Even with the Flame Tongue Totem, you might even look for Earthen Might, something to just, again, really get that aggressive start, get that push. Try to play around the things like Explosive Trap, try to play around even the kill commands or the smaller minions that could come out.
You know, I know one of my favorite cards to get against a Spell Hunter is Primal Fen. You can't beat getting free tokens over and over and over again that are hard to kill until turn 4. We see Secret Plane again for iOrchestrate, and Allie throws out that Menacing Nimbus and gets a Frost Elemental off of there, freezing a character. Ooh, that's actually a great pickup for her.
Yeah, and another thing too, looking at Orchestrate's side, again, she has multiple secrets and that Spellstone, so you know, this could be a little bit tough if she's able to get an early Spellstone out and kind of control the board a little bit and just make Allie have answers. You know, again, just keep that board. That could be really huge for her.
But we do see one of the best possible cards for Allie to come. Arcanosword's amazing in this. As long as she can figure out how to get a elemental down, you know, for turn 6, she can clear that Spellstone easy.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good pickup here for Allie. You know, actually, even this Chain Gang doesn't seem too bad here.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea at all, knowing that into turn 5, you are going to be seeing a, you know, probably a Spellstone, especially with the Secrets Blade. So I don't mind that a bit, getting those down. You know, there are a few ways for her to clear those, but, you know, having those in place to be able to do some damage. Oh, what a pickup. What a pickup. That's high rolled.
Yeah, that's actually really good for Orchestrate here, because now it makes it a little bit awkward for Alliestrasza, because now it's going to force her either to trade or she holds back. But I like how Allie played, or used that 1/1 to try to trade into the secret, because if it is Wandering Monster, maybe it's a 3 health or 2 health or something, and she can follow up with that eel and kill it off, and then go face for 4. It just unfortunately didn't work that way for her.
Yeah, I mean, that was very smart on her part.
And we see a fully buffed Spellstone coined out on turn 4.
Oh, man. And if you're sitting in Allie's situation, what do you think here? What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's a little sad, I think. This Arcanosaur, like you said, is such a great pickup, and I think from Allie's perspective, she really wishes she had an elemental to play this turn so that she could use that Arcanosaur next turn. She might just be using the Fire Elemental next turn instead to just try to clear one of the 3/3s, and then hope that maybe her couple taunts out here are enough to just slow Orchestrate down.
Yes, and so if you're Orchestrate here, do you choose to trade knowing the Even Shaman board can get very large, or do you just push face and try to get out there as fast as you can? We do see her use Baited Arrow here.
You know, I think because of the threat of things like the Flame Tongue Totem or the Earthen Mites, Knife Jugglers, anything like that, the Corpse Takers or Vicious Scalehide being buffed by something else as well. I like the approach of just trying to control the board as much as possible from the Hunter side here, and you know, if she can control the board a little bit with some minions and then push some damage after that as well, that's definitely really good for her.
Yes, I agree. And we do see that Arcanosaur is actually lit up this time, which is a huge deal. Um, Unfortunately, it's not going to clear the board, but it's going to get rid of a lot of stuff here, which is very helpful for Allie, especially sitting at a 13 health. Man, she would have loved to see a taunt totem rolled off of there.
Definitely. This
But
is
I
a little bit unfortunate.
think that that's actually going to be game again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Allie, we see that kill come in his hand, but luckily iOrchestrate has it for herself. So we're gonna go iOrchestrate up to 2-0 against Alliestrasza. This Spell Hunter is doing work, Don. Did you expect that when you saw this deck list?
You know, I figured that Allie might have a little bit of hard with it, but I think I actually would have maybe expected Allie to ban the Hunter. Instead, you know, she did ban the Rogue, and I definitely see that as well. And also that could be maybe that Allie didn't expect a Paladin ban, and maybe she was expecting a different ban, and so she decided to ban the Rogue instead of the Hunter.
You know, that's a very good point. Sometimes when I've played matches before, it's the ban that I'm not expecting that trips me up the most. So, and it looks like we are gonna head back to game, and we can see here that obviously iOrchestrate has that Spell Hunter backup, and Allie's last deck of Even Lock has got to do some work here. If you're in Allie's spot, what are you mulliganing for, Dawn?
You're probably looking for, I mean, Hellfire is definitely going to be up there. You know, in this matchup, you might keep the Giant and just hope that iOrchestrate doesn't have those Hunter's Marks. You know, potentially just try to get that damage you know, in there early.
And we can see iOrchestrate doesn't get Secret Plan Secrets or the Spellstone this time around. I wonder if that will make a big difference in this opening. It's the kind of mulligan that you want your opponent to get, I think, if you're Allie in this situation.
Yeah, so I think probably the worst thing in iOrchestrate's hand, though, for Allie is that Deadly Shot pickup. So if Allie goes for that early Giant, you know, she's just going to get destroyed by that Deadly Shot. But she did pick up some other answers here. She could go with a Twilight Drake first, you know, to maybe bait one of those out, and then follow up with the Mountain Giant instead.
Yes, I agree. And Allie, we do see Allie goes ahead and throws out the 8/8. We do know that Deadly Shot is in hand, unfortunately, and Allie probably knows that too, but she's going to say, hey, you either have it or I win, because an 8/8 on turn 3 is nuts.
Right. And Orchestrate's last couple draws have been really good here. I mean, drawing, you got that Candle Shot, a Tracking, and a Secret Plan, so this just filled out her curve there, using perfectly that Deadly Shot and then a 1-drop.
And I like that choice of the Snipe there. You know, her other choices just didn't seem as strong. We do see the Twilight Drake come out here. I think that was probably her strongest play by far.
Yeah, and we could potentially see the Snipe come down.
Oh, and the next pickup for iOrchestrate. Man, Allie is just not getting the luck here, but that Spellstone. However, this is probably the best matchup for the Spellstone to come out because of that Hellfire. It can do some serious work.
Yes, and, you know, I think keeping Hellfire in this matchup is probably the right thing to do anyways, but potentially from Alliestrasza's point of view, you know, she just got burned by a turn 5 and a coined out turn 4 Spellstone the last 2 games. Yes. So she also could be potentially just, I don't care, I'm keeping the Hellfire, I'm getting rid of that Spellstone.
I think that was both experience and maybe a little bit of frustration that we've seen a turn 4 and a turn 5 Spellstone. So Allie was very smart to look into that. Now, what do you think that, well, we're going to find out in just a second here. Allie is going to coin out, well, she's deciding actually. So. What do you think that she's going to do, Dawn?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple choices here. She could just want to play something like the Shroom Brewer and then Stun Fury Protector just to put some stuff out.
She does decide to go ahead and go with that Gen. Maybe thinking about a snipe being a possibility there. But I do like this choice on Allie's part. You know, the Shrimper was nice, but being able to probably tap into, not even going to have to tap, just being able to Hellfire into the Hooked Reaver is not a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And she has the Skulking Geist to pick up. That could actually be really good for Allie here too.
What cards do you think that she's trying to hit with that Skulking Geist on?
Well, she's definitely wanting to hit as much as she can, but she does know the deck list since it's open deck list, but those Hunter's Marks, the Secret Plan tracking, 2 copies of each. She did play a little bit already, but potential of 6 from the get-go, so it could be a very valuable Skulking Geist.
And we can see her choices being Rat Trap, Misdirection, and Explosive Trap. And all golden, I might add. That's pretty nifty. What do you think she's going to choose here, Dawn?
You know, I actually kind of like the Misdirection here. She does take the Misdirection. I think just looking at just looking at the board, I mean, you know, even don't have very many small minions, so the explosive just really doesn't do much. And you know, I think that Misdirection could help a little bit.
Yes, I agree. There was a lot of potential in the Misdirection to hit face, to clear another large minion. The Rat Trap as an even lock, there's not a whole lot of times that you're going to be playing 3 cards in one hand. You may see it, but for the most part, a 6/6 isn't going to get much work done anyway. So I agree with you. Misdirection seems like the best pickup. Looking at Allie's hand, she has a lot to do, Dawn. Where is her mind now being at 14 health?
Yeah, I definitely like this playing out the Hooked Reaver. You know, we're getting into turn 7. Last turn, iOrchestrate did just play out a To My Side and a 1-cost spell, so maybe she, you know, doesn't expect one of the 7s, like maybe she doesn't expect Crushing Walls, which I feel like Crushing Walls could be really good here. Take out that 7/7, and also it puts it in the pool if Orchestrate draws Zul Jin.
And that was a huge card. You know, not the card you necessarily want to see in hand as a when you mulligan against a even Warlock. However, we did see that was such a big deal. Such a big deal for iOrchestrate here. Being able to clear 9 damage off of the board is just nuts. So we see Allie go ahead and heal face. She's going to do that, it looks like, twice. And then send the Sun Fury to face instead of trading.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the point in the game where Allie is trying to turn the game around. If she can stabilize the board a little bit and start pushing damage to iOrchestrate's face, that's, I think, the point where she really wants to be at.
And she's already got iOrchestrate at 19 health. And we do know that there is a little bit of healing in the sense of the armor from Zul'Jin and the armor from Rexxar, but these minions get so large, Dawn. They're hard to deal with, and you know, if it weren't for Rotelar, it would be really hard for iOrchestrate to reverse stabilize, I think. But what spells could we see off of Rotelar? Do you, maybe next turn or the turn after, that could make a big deal?
I mean, I feel like any removal type thing. So another Deadly Shot, another Crushing Walls. I mean, both potentially, because she could play, if she plays Rotelar on turn 10 and Deadly Shot, she could play that as well. But, you know, those would be pretty gross. Potentially Hunter's Marks. We do know that Allie has the Skulking Geist, so maybe she's gonna try to wait a little bit. I was also really surprised that Orchestrate didn't play that tracking last turn. She had the mana for it, and she might just be wanting to try to find something at this point in the game.
Yeah, and maybe waiting to make sure there's she can find the answer she needs, if she needs a hero or if she needs something else. So, but I agree. I'm a little surprised she held it, knowing that Rotelar is probably going to come up next turn for her. Oh, and we see Allie is going to go ahead and use that. I'm guessing that she didn't even think of Misdirection as a card here. Or, you know, maybe she has, and maybe she doesn't attack face. Oh, man, look at this. Allie doesn't attack face. How smart was that?
Yeah, it definitely, from the play last turn, I feel like, maybe Allie has a read that there's just not much removal in the hand. She only has a couple cards, and she's just gonna try to, again, like I said, she's gonna try to just take control of the game and hope that she can stabilize.
We do see that deadly shot come out. She's at 7 mana. Does she Rokhtalar here? Is that what we think she should do?
It does fill her hand and have that potential draw. I don't mind the Spellstone here. She's just gonna push damage again with that hero power. She has seen one Hooked Reaver already, so basically half the deck left. I don't mind putting your opponent down to that 14 for the Hooked Reaver. But we do see Allie has that second Hooked Reaver.
I like it. I like the play. I think she's holding that Rokhtalar for a reason. I'm not quite sure what that reason is, but I like that she's holding it here. I like she's looking for things. She did get rid of that misdirection, so that probably feels pretty good. I think that Allie obviously had a very good read on that secret and wanted to make sure that she didn't have another minion to get attacked, I think. So very smart on her part. We see the Skulking Guy come down.
Being able to play out a 7/7 taunt and that Skulking Guy on the same turn is just so good.
What a pick up!
So, yeah.
This is crazy. Bless Allie's heart is all I can say. That was the best pickup that we could have seen there for iOrchestrate. She's gonna clear Allie's board, and not only that, she's gonna build a big board of her own.
Yeah.
Oh, double huffer!
Oh my
goodness!
Wow.
We do see one guy
behind a taunt too. Oh no.
Oh no, one didn't die. She actually was able to back face. Oh, what do you do here? Oh, well, it looks like a Spellstone Defile turn if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, gain a little bit of life, try to clear the board, and just hope you can live. But man, Orchestrate has just destroyed with this Hunter.
Man, you can see that Allie is just trying to figure out, even if I do this, what do I do next? And I'm not sure what the answer is here for Allie. I mean, we do see she's going to have a full board clear. She's only going to go up to 9, and we see, between the hero power and iOrchestrate 7, that's what is that, 6 of the damage that she needs to get there? What can she draw, Donnie, that's going to help her get
I mean, yeah, she could draw a kill command, though she wouldn't have damage with kill command because she would have to play Rokhtalar and kill command and the hero power for lethal, so she wouldn't have enough mana there. But yeah, I mean, I could just see her going for the Rokhtalar here.
I agree. I could as well.
What she gets.
Wow. We do see Allie going for the top, but she's basically... Oh, and look at that kill command. I mean, I think iOrchestrate was over there, like, dancing or doing something to get these cards. My stars, iOrchestrate.
Oh my gosh. And because Allie... because Allie tapped there, it gave iOrchestrate that lethal with the Rokhtalar and that pickup, that top deck.
I don't blame Allie, honestly, there for that. She basically needed to find some way to stabilize and, maybe looking for that Spellstone or something else. But she knew she didn't have 2 turns left. So I think the tap there was, a desperation tap to try to find something to help her stabilize.
Absolutely.
Was there anything in the deck, Dawn, that you think that could have helped her stabilize?
Maybe Gul'dan. That would probably be the only thing that I could see that would actually really help her there. And unfortunately, she just didn't get it. But man, Orchestrate taking it down 3-0.
That was incredible play on iOrchestrate's part. It was fairly flawless in my opinion. And then, I
Yeah.
mean, on Allie's part, unfavorable matchups and just a lack of draw there.
Right.
You know, it took the day. Like you win some, you lose some, and Allie's day was kind of a little bit not win some today.
Yeah.
Do you think that she could have done anything different to pull those games out, or do you think she played it as well as she could have and just got unlucky?
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty good from my end. Maybe potentially a little bit in maybe the first game playing into a little bit of the secrets. But man, yeah, that was it. I mean, from both sides, it really looked like they knew what they were expecting, from the other person, and I think they played as much to their outs as they really could.
I
But
agree. I agree. I definitely feel like they both played very well. It just some days. But Don,
yeah,
I do want to take a minute to say thank you so much to all of our patrons, to all of you in chat, just everybody who keeps continuing to support the Bad A Women of Hearthstone.
yeah.
You who give your time, your money, and your effort. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And before we get off, though, Don, I just wanted to throw a little shout out to you because you are today number one in the tournaments. Congrats on that. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels really surreal. I'm not gonna lie. It's really weird. And I went into the tournament just like, okay, like this will be a fun thing to do. We'll see how I do. And I did not expect to be doing so well. And it's been amazing though, like the whole experience. And I hope that a lot of the other women have felt the same way. But just being able to connect with other women in the community, being able to play against them, practice with them, or whatever it may be, and we all can just talk to each other, and everyone's been so nice. Even when we end up losing, there's still that GG, well played, all that. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing.
It's
So
been a wonderful place for women to just get to know each other. I had no idea that there were 50 plus women playing Hearthstone. It's been so awesome. I've been able to follow a whole bunch of new women and talk to and get to know. And then just the ability to come out and cast. And so, what we would ask of you, all of you in chat and everything, invite more women. Let people know that there are other women out there that enjoy this, that we're a good community and we're supported by great people. So let them know. And if you guys make sure that you follow Alliestrasza and iOrchestrate, both are on Twitter. I believe we know that Allie's a streamer. She's been streaming since 2015. And iOrchestrate, I think, did her first stream the other day, right, Donnie?
yeah, she has definitely been starting to stream. I think she's done several streams now. So, Alliestrasza had already been streaming, like you said. She's been in the community.
Fantastic streamer.
Yeah, Orchestrate's been getting out there as well, doing some streaming now that she's been doing this tournament. So, this tournament has really encouraged women to start, even stepping up with doing more streaming or just getting out in the community more. So, yeah, you can find all of that information on the end scene that the awesome Bemmie, who has been doing production tonight, will be putting up. So thank you also to Bemmie for doing the production.
Thank you, Bemmie.
So make sure that you also reach out to the production crew as well and thank them for just putting together the awesome slides and everything that you see on stream for these matches.
And then last but not least, make sure that you tune in tomorrow. We have Karakute versus Future Shock. And they are also in the top couple of spots. So this will definitely jostle around our leaderboard just a little bit. But so will Dawn come out on top? You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
Yes.
But on Dragon Ball Z, this is a copyright free stream. No, but again, from Dawn and I both, and Bemmie in the production house, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic